Some beliefs are true, some beliefs are false, and it matters which is which. All right, welcome back to the party, everybody. I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Everybody hit that like and subscribe, and let's party! So you guys know that I am a very strong atheist, even though I have a huge place in my heart for Christian values. Grew up in the Catholic Church, confirmed as a Methodist, and then, I just kind of got away from it. But we hear too often that people like myself, who are atheists, should just shut up when it comes to religion. Well, you can believe what you want, and you just let me believe what I want. But the problem with that is that it's coming from a place of you don't deserve a seat at the table because you don't have skin in the game. And that's simply not the case. So I have this video here from Talk Heathen of the Atheist Experience, and a pretty interesting take on why atheists care so much about belief.
Hi, friend. I'm Liesl, and I'm here with the atheist community of Austin in our lovely Free Thought Library. Today, we're going to be talking about the importance of belief and why even when you don't believe in God or a faith, it still matters how we arrive at those beliefs, and it matters to talk about them. A common question asked of those who leave religion is why they still talk about religion so much. It's sort of the religious equivalent of saying, well, why are you so obsessed with me?
Or the liberal version of, why do you care so much about people who people have sex with? Why do you care so much about what people's genitals are? Well, I don't, but if you're going to start cutting them off, that creates a little bit of interest.
It's often used as sort of this epithet to say that if you leave religion, but you're still interested in it, then you actually must still believe. Or that atheists just want to spoil the fun for everybody else, or else they would just shut up about it and go away. But this misses the key fact that people become atheists because belief matters so much to them.
Exactly. The only reason that I'm an atheist is because growing up in the church, I was kind of passive in terms of how much I would participate in the religion. I believed in God, I believed the stories and all that stuff, but I wasn't very much engaged. And so it wasn't until later in life, around college age, when I decided I do want to get more engaged. I want to start reading my Bible more. I want to start getting closer to God. I always make the joke that when I was in college, those were the days we had AOL Instant Messenger, and you'd have away messages. And I would always have a Bible verse in my away messages of my first semester. So I went into college with a very, very open mind. And the only reason that I got to be an atheist was a desire to understand religion and my beliefs, better than I already did.
We understand how integral every belief is into our everyday lives. The decisions we make, values we have, they all come from our core beliefs. And so most folks who become atheists do value belief, and that's why we talk about religion.
Absolutely. What you believe informs how you behave. So if you believe that cars can't hurt you, then that's going to dictate how you act when there's traffic in front of you.
Because not only is it interesting, but it's integral to our lives together as communities, as families, or even as individuals, to question why we believe what we believe. This means that beliefs impact how we vote, how we treat our neighbors, how we treat our animals, the food we eat, the items we buy, the schools we choose to put our children in. Beliefs factor into everything we do. But beliefs are simply that, beliefs. Simply having a belief does not make that belief valid or.
And again, if you are thinking this is all just about putting down religion, it's not. It's about dogmatic thinking in general. So you can apply anything that we're talking about in religion to the dogmatic ideology of the far left way. It's exactly the same.
So when we're thinking about being an atheist and questioning religion or questioning faith, we're pushing ourselves and others to know why we believe what we believe and to seek truth.
Exactly. And so, the flip side of that, based on what I just said, would be, people who are asking about, well, what happens about gametes and what happens when you chop this off? And the response that Lance from the Surfs gave Tim Pool, like, well, why do you care so much? That's not an argument. That's not a refutation of the very serious conversation that we're trying to have. And if you agree, guys, you will definitely find a home at the Indian Indian Jesus Discord server where the party never ends. That's right, 24/7 we are in there hanging out. And after every single live stream, we go in there for an after panel where you're not stuck behind your keyboard, but you're actually on screen with me and everybody else. You can come up if you want to. You don't have to. Either way, it's a good time. Come and join us.
We believe that our core values, our core beliefs should be based on evidence, reason, and critical thought.
Yup.
Oftentimes, beliefs might be based on fear or tradition or authority. Those things can be really hard to challenge, but it's vital that we do. Simply, some beliefs are true and others are false, and it matters to distinguish between them. And
some beliefs are true, some beliefs are false, and it matters which is which. Again, the traffic example. If you don't believe that cars can hurt you, go walk in the middle of the street. See how that works out for you.
Similarly, some beliefs are harmless and other beliefs are harmful. Consider flat Earth. Believing that the Earth is round is based on evidence, reason, critical thinking, and genuinely thousands of years of experimentation and documentation. It's so well proved that if you really wanted to, you could go outside on your own and reprove this to yourself.
If you're a flat earther, let me know. I would love to have a conversation with you.
It is that well grounded in evidence. And yet, there are still people who would argue that the Earth is flat. People usually don't grow up thinking the Earth is flat. Very few are from flat earther homes, but they arrive at this belief due to the evangelism of other flat earthers.
And again, take the trans issue. This is the exact same thing. That there might be truth to some of the things that they say tangentially, but the idea that you can transform from a man into a female is just wrong. It's just wrong. It always has been, and it always will be.
The belief that the Earth is flat is fundamentally based on dogma, on rejection of scientific authority for the acceptance of authority that tells you that you alone are right, that you are so special, that all of science is wrong, and you have been brought to see the truth in some special way.
And religion is the same thing. But instead of thinking that you've found all the right answers, you just believe that you've already always had the answers. And that's just an excuse to not continue thinking, not continue questioning yourself, not continue trying to get to the truth of just life in general. What is life? What is our purpose here? All these kinds of things. It's all just in a book, handed to you. You're done. You don't need to think about anything.
Without any evidence, not accepting any criticism, not being open to any form of critical thought.
Just like we can very easily disprove that a man can transform into a female, but we have to pretend using this semantic obfuscation and mixing around meanings and definitions and stuff to make it so that people who have this wrong belief are affirmed.
Now, you might be thinking, so what? Some people believe that the Earth is flat. Some people believe in Bigfoot. Who cares? These are just silly beliefs. It's easy to write flat earthers off as acting as though they are just they're nutcases. We can't even believe them. They can't be reasoned with. They're completely off the rails. But think about how somebody arrives at this belief. The harm in this belief comes from the fact that beliefs have consequences. By being willing to buy into a belief like flat Earth, folks might also be more willing to buy into beliefs that are anti-science in general.
Exactly. Once you have demonstrated that you don't have the faculties or the desire or whatever it is to properly determine truth from non-truth, then now I don't trust you in any regard to understand truth from non-truth. And what you believe in your heart, in your mind about whether or not there's a God, that doesn't directly affect me. But if you believe that all short people should get decapitated or something, then I'm going to care very much about that belief.
Consider folks drinking untreated water because they've been convinced that what's natural is best and ending up with giardia as a result.
That's a great one. You know, there's a lot of not anti-science, but alternative science that has to do with supplements and stuff. You don't know what's out there. And if you're somebody who's willing to buy goop, then what else are you willing to part money for? What else are you willing to support without having any idea how it actually works?
Consider women who steam their vaginas and end up with horrible yeast infections because an influencer told them that this would be helpful, when in fact, this is a completely non-scientific belief.
I didn't even hear what she said, but we're just going to move past that.
The evidence is out there, but their favorite influencer said to ignore it. I remember being in middle school and having a friend tell me that skin cancer research was all just a fraud and that she was going to go out and tan as much as she wanted. This false belief, which really came from wanting a particular aesthetic because it was 2004 and everyone wanted to be really, really tan and wear Abercrombie, could actually harm her. This belief could do her serious physical damage, take up a ton of resources to try to save her life or protect her from cancer, and could end up impacting others, particularly if this belief spreads.
And again, just bring it back to the trans issue. The same thing that's trendy can cause all sorts of problems. And especially those who are pushing for universal healthcare, now you're asking me to pay for a lot more things. You're asking the government to allocate a huge portion of money that could be allocated to something that we actually need to what will become a problem because you're not willing to understand what you're supporting. So, I mean, the video goes on more. You can definitely go check it out if you like. I'll link it below. But I really just wanted to say something about belief and why it matters that despite the fact that I don't personally believe in a God of any kind, that doesn't mean that A, I don't have any values or morals or anything like that. And B, I care very much about the beliefs that are permeating throughout society for all the reasons that we just went down. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Once again, I've been your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, I am out of here. Peace.